In this video we are going to demonstrate the workflow behind the data prep module that was released with TBC version 350. Here we have a blank TBC project, and as a next step we are going to open a PDF inside TBC. So in this case this is a vector PDF, and you will notice automatically a place image commands shows up. So in this case we have a set of coordinates, which means we can georeference this vector PDF, and we also have the scale bar and a north arrow, which can help us adjust for the scale and orientation. In this case we are going to do exactly that, so we are going to use the scale bar and known bearing, and here we have a scale bar in feet. So let's switch our project units to survey foot, just so we can be consistent. And the distance in this case is 120 from pixel. Here, as you notice, as I come close to a pixel, the pixel picker kind of changes shape, and the bearing is going to be 0. We pick here the bottom of the north arrow and the top of the north arrow and say compute, and that does the transformation to our PDF. So after you're done with that, you can notice here that north arrow is showing upward, and if you measure something you will notice that it's consistent with the scale bar. So next we're going to use this quick command here, or we can do the same from the home tab images. We will launch import vector PDF command. In case we have multiple page PDF, we could have done this same thing for the multiple PDF, and here we have some options offering you to join dashed lines or not, preserve PDF layers, fill in the boundaries, and so on. So in this case you're going to stick with the default options, and we're going to say import. Notice that all of the vector lines have been automatically digitized, as this is a vector PDF. If I open a view filter manager and turn off the background georeferenced image, you will notice that now this is live vector data. If you select, you can see properties of the data set. So we got our data set digitized. So the next step is going to be standardize some of these layers and clean up our drawing. So a new command called standardize layers is available under the home tab layers. So if you click standardize layers, you can see the list of standard layers. The way you create a standard layer is if you go to the command new layer and say this is a layer called contours, and the layer is going to be orange, and if you check the protect layer, that will make the layer standard layer. So say OK. Notice that the layer now shows up in the list of standard layers. If you look at view filter manager under layers, all of the line types from the PDF drawing have been imported into a separate layer. So the way standard layers command works now is that you select object on a source layer. So let's say you're going to select this cat polyline here, and you get a message that 294 objects were found on that particular layer, and as a destination layer we will select layer contours. Notice that moved all those objects from layer PDF line work to layer contours. We can now continue doing that and selecting more layers. So select the layer here and move it to layer contours, and so on. This allows you to quickly standardize all of your layers. So let's say you have 300 layers and you want to move everything to the standard 15-20 layers. This is a very quick way to do that. Once you've standardized layers, you can launch the project cleanup command. So this is a command that we spend a lot of time on working, so it's much more than your typical regen or redraw command. It allows you to get rid of unused blocks, definitions, line style, text style. Also, if you have zero length segments, it will automatically remove those zero length segments. As you know, it sometimes takes a long time to clean up these. removing duplicate lines. Also, if you have lines that should be joining but they are not, you can set that tolerance at which the lines are going to join. Once you're happy with all of these settings, you can just say apply, and the project cleanup command is going to start, and you will get a report. And here, for example, those two layers that we moved the objects to the layer contours are also removed, so you won't be seeing those unused layers anymore. You get also a message of zero length lines, duplicate lines, and so on. So you can simply close the command, and once you've cleaned up your drawing, in the data prep module we allow you a set of elevate commands that allow you to, from this digitized data set, to create a 3D data set, because right now if you look at the 3D view, all of this data is flat, so there's no elevation to these polylines. So with elevate commands, you can quickly turn this 2D data into 3D. The way to do that is you can launch any of the existing spot lines or pad commands that will allow you to elevate points, lines, and polygons, or you can elevate individual contours or contours by crossing or by label. So in this example, I'm going to show you how to do contours by crossing. So if you launch the contour by crossing command here in the view filter, I'm going to turn the PDF back on just so I can see elevation of these contours. So here I can see that the contours are going from 6350, they're going downwards all the way to 6250 and 6225. So in this case, the contour interval is 5, and the contours are going down. The beginning elevation is going to be 6350. So I'm going to say from here to all the way till here, and you can see the message that 28 contours have been elevated, so they have been moved up from this location up here in 3D. So now you have a 3D contours that you can use to generate surface and create DTM models and get them out for stakeout in 3D with all the associated 3D information. So once again, this was an overview of the data prep module. So the idea is that now you can work with your PDF files, either vector or raster PDFs, digitize those PDFs. In case of vector PDFs, you can do that automatically. In case of raster PDFs, you can use any of the digitize commands here. Once you've created that vector data, you can standardize layers, you can clean up your drawing, and then you can use elevate commands to get that vector data into 3D for stakeout or machine control. That concludes our video on the data prep module workflow in TBC version 350.